2 of the forge press build. Now these videos are going to be kind of slow and lethargic, but with a lot of the other builds, we usually do an overview video at the end of it with no explanation or anything like that, just the work being done and seeing this thing get built. But the videos in between that, though, we go heavy into the details and the explanation. So if you get bored easily, tune out, and I'll see you on the overview video. So what I've got one of my uprights of the H-frame in. We're going to do another one. It's going to be 12 inches over. We're going to have a 12-inch plate in between. I'm using whatever scrap I can off the I-beams and stuff like that. So it's going to be a rusty, nasty mess until we get to the point where I can wire wheel everything, prime it, paint it, make it look, well, I guess as reasonably decent as we can. A lot of pitting and stuff in some of these I-beams, but that's okay. It shouldn't really hurt anything. So what we're going to have to do, because this I-beam webbing's so wide at 12 inches, there's a little bit of flex. I can move it, just shake it a little bit. We're going to have to do some bracing down there to beef that up. It shouldn't really hurt the way it runs or anything like that, because all the pressure is going to be pushing down on it. And it's also going to be pushing up against the top, but we're definitely going to want to beef that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two 4-inch diameter hydraulic cylinders. Jeez, English, you know. I'm going to do two 4-inch hydraulic cylinders for the center of the H-frame. Then the outside, we're either going to have a 3 or a 4-inch smaller one. We're going to be running these at 3,000 PSI. So at 3,000 PSI with two 4-inch cylinders with 1.5 inch, inch and a half or 2-inch rods in them, I'm going to generate around 37 tons of pressure on this center. Now you see a lot of 50 tonners out there, things like that. People build these monstrosities, 60 tonners. I don't need that kind of pressure. Not that I have much experience with forge presses, but I talked to a couple of blacksmiths I know who use them, and most of them can punch axe size and anything they want to do with a 28 ton. So I figure a 37 ton ought to get me just fine. The outside I'm shooting for the 10 to 14 ton range, and that'll depend on the hydraulic ram. Now, I do have a 3-incher here, but it's only rated to 2,500 PSI max working pressure. I'm building this to run at 3,000 PSI. We're going to have a 2-spool valve. We're going to be making our hydraulic tank out of a piece of 6-inch black iron. We're going to have to cap it off, put pipe taps and things like that in it, and we're just going to move along. So without any further ado, I've already spent my 20 hours cutting that other I-beam down. We'll get this welded on, we'll get the center plate on. I have the rams ordered, so they're going to take probably a good week to get here. So this project's going to be slow and sporadic, but we're going to do the best we can. So anyway, stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the other side of it. Okay, we got quite a gap on this thing right here. I don't know if I got off on the cut on this, but what I did, I measured from the outside of the web here to get it all lined up. So she's lined up really well. I took a straight edge across here, make sure this was straight across, and then when we get the next riser on this H-frame, we'll put a straight edge to that, and hopefully we can get everything nice and square and level here. Let's see if we can get this tacked up. We have quite a gap to fill in right there, but we should be able to get it all right. See what happens. Let's see what we can do with this next guy. The hell did I do with my welding gloves? Right there. I always forget to put these on when I'm welding. I don't know why. It's so easy to do. The only time, though, I've ever had issues was my first time using a wire feed. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I'd really never welded anything before. It was the cheap Hazard Fraught wire feed welder. And somebody had gotten it for me for my birthday. And I was using the cutting goggles that came with it because I thought they were for welding. So not only did I almost blind myself, but I burnt the hell out of my face and my hands. And that was one of the worst welding experiences I've ever had. All right, let's see what happens here. I told you guys this thing's gonna be heavier than hell. But that sits on there pretty nice. So we can do this without tipping it over. Well, somebody doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm going to assume, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to assume that it's me. Now stay. Well, I guess somebody should have squared this up before he put it on here. Alright, let's try this again. See what happens here. Oh, here. All right, there we have it for one night. So next time out, we're gonna tip this thing down on its side. We're gonna weld all this stuff. I like to weld as flat as I can just so my beads, I'm not real good at vertical welding or any of that kind of stuff. We're gonna have to put some plate behind this, I think, to fill it in. Otherwise, we're gonna have a mess because that gap's pretty big. I think what happened here, and I didn't check it with the square, and I should have after I cut it, but I think what happened is I just got out of square a little bit on the hacksaw. That's an awful big piece to manage in there. But I'll tell you what, it did it all right. So, of course, I know it's really bright right here, guys. I've got this filming light right in my face, but it makes a really good work light. It's just super bright. So we're all welded up on the bottom. Next time out, I think we're going to work on our hydraulic tank maybe. get this thing welded up some more, start getting the platform made for the dies. I'm going to beef this up, this plate right here, because it's going to have a lot of pressure on it. I have some half track for boat ramps outside. I think what we're going to do, we're going to cut them to length, stack a couple in here, and that'll get a really nice hard steel, really nice added structure to this. Of course, we have part of the webbing from the I-beam on here. It's actually quite a bit of steel. And the other thing we're going to have to do, I'll put a straight edge across here and make sure this is nice and square to the frame itself. Probably have to grind it down some, get it there. But anyway, that's her so far, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you on the next one.